I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Now, this week we have been learning the 10 Commandments, and we are focusing on Commandments 9 and 10 today. So, cue pointer sisters, right? Celebrate good times, balloons and confetti. I wish I had all that stuff, but we're on a budget. Good times indeed. You know, it's always a good idea when we know and we recite these 10 commandments amongst friends and family. You know, this practice is intended to be an encouragement to one another and a positive testimony to anybody looking on. We just want to communicate that we are serious about knowing the Lord, as well as seeking His requirements for the people who bear His name. So here we are. Commandment number 9. You hold up a high five and then you hold up a high 4. I don't even know if that's a thing. Commandment number 9, right? Commandment number 9, no lying, right? 9 and lion sort of rhyme. They at least do in Arkansas, where I'm from. Exodus chapter 20, verse 16, do not bear false witness. Well, I like the way the Bible puts it better than me, right? Do not bear false witness against your neighbor. Now, pretty much everyone knows that lying is a sin. But as with the other commandments, this one goes deeper than just the general pedestrian understanding. God foresaw a time when the people of Israel would take each other to court, and then they would lie about evidence. Now, surely that would never happen today. I'm being sarcastic. We see this sin most prominently displayed in the trial of Jesus before the Sanhedrin. Some of the Pharisees convinced people to falsely testify, to bear false witness against Jesus. But none of their stories could be corroborated when they were cross-examined. You see, when we consider the idea of what modern Christianity calls witnessing, right? Bearing witness. Hey, I'm a Christian, and I want to bear witness to what Jesus has done for me. Sharing your faith. Well, then the command to not bear false witness carries extra gravity. I mean, after all, don't we sin when we profess that we love Jesus and yet our lifestyles are bearing false witness that we really love the world? That's a sin. Do not bear false witness. And now here's the end, right? 10, 2 high fives, right? 10, number 10 is the end. We love it, but we still won't covet. Like I said, this is how I teach my kids. Exodus chapter 20, verse 17, do not covet your neighbor's house. Do not covet your neighbor's wife, his male or female slave, his ox or his donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. Do not covet. You might love it, but don't covet. The correct understanding of coveting is somewhat foreign to our culture, I think. You know, here's what coveting is not. Coveting is not wanting something that your neighbor has. You know, it's not a sin. It's not a sin to want something that your neighbor has. For instance, if your neighbor gets a new car and you want one too, just like it, well, all you have to do is just work hard and buy a car like your neighbor's. Your neighbor might not appreciate you having the same car, but that's not a sin. It's not against the law. Coveting is different than wanting something that somebody else has. Coveting is more like an evil craving, to have something instead of your neighbor. Coveting is the deep compulsion to envy and to hate your neighbor for having something instead of you having it. And then it generates the desire then. It gets evil. It generates the desire that you would degrade or maybe even destroy your neighbor, if necessary, in order to obtain that thing, or at the very least, to keep them from having something that you deserve. You see, coveting is the root of all spiritual and relational adultery. It is the root of all sorts of greed and thievery and malicious intent and warring. So, 10 is the end. That's the last of the 10 commandments. Hey, you love it, but you still don't covet. So can you recite all 10 commandments by memory? I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast.